Here's the Sunday schedule. It's Inside the Lines. Cam Stewart, David Bastl with you. Let's start off with a couple of divisional games. First off, it's the Ravens and Bengals. Bengals stunk out the joint last week against the Cleveland Browns. They're both 3.5-point favorites, Cam. And I want to say this is a must-win game for the Bengals, but I know it's September, but could you imagine the Bengals being down 0-2 to both division rivals to start the season?
I got to tell you something, Dave, and I mentioned it before. I told you that Joe Burrow, there's something wrong. There's a hitch in his giddy-up. He went through all those gloves. I'm telling you, the injury that he had, a lot of guys in basketball, it takes longer to get back from it. He's going to be all right, but let's give Schwartz's defense in Cleveland credit too, but he didn't look himself. As for Baltimore, they didn't really play a first great half against Houston and then turned it up. Lamar Jackson wasn't even that good. Here's the deal. I got to take the points. This Ravens team, they almost beat Cincinnati with Huntley as their quarterback in the playoffs before. Just don't trust Cincinnati right now. I know, you know what? Cincinnati are notorious slow starters. I got to take the points with Baltimore. I see that Dobbins injury hurts, but Gus the Bus Edwards and Justice Hill, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think they will be too. And right now, just because of the hook, I'm leaning Ravens as well. If the hook wasn't there, you'd have me thinking a little bit, but the hook has me betting the road team. Let's go Packers and Falcons. Both of these teams impressive. I know it's hard to say this, but Packers and Falcons, both impressive week 1 wins. Well, it was. Now I ask you this. Green Bay favorites on the road. Are they a little overvalued right now, considering that I know the display they put against Chicago, but they were also dogs in that game, and people looked at it and go, I don't know about Green Bay, but all of a sudden, there's a lot of Green Bay love out there.
Hey, love played good. Yes. They have a lot to love. Look at Rodgers.
You like what I did there, right?
Yeah. Hey, Rodgers is out. Love is in. So honestly, so now you're looking at Packer Nation's probably like, oh, thank God. Imagine he got hurt week 1 versus Chicago. But I'm going to say this. Green Bay, very impressive game against Chicago. But Chicago also shot themselves in the foot, Dave. Yep. They had drives where they went for it on 4th down, horrible play calling. They lost the ball, and Love made them pay. I'll give Green Bay a lot of credit. As for Atlanta, not a great start against Carolina, but the second half was wicked. I'm going to tell you this. Atlanta's getting 1 point. I think there's going to be a lot of money on Green Bay. I'm hanging with Frank Falcon, one of my bird friends this week. I think Atlanta gets it done, wins this game by 3 or 4. I will take the home dog, even if it's just 1 point.
I like what you're saying there. I'm on Atlanta as well, plus the points. I hope it actually jumps up because there are some leans that are saying that it could be 2 by game time. Of course, we taped this a little earlier in the week, but I also like what the Falcons have in the backfield with the dual running backs. It seems to work. Let that ride under the dome in Atlanta. We move on to the Chiefs and Jaguars, one of my favorite games of the week. Sports Interaction has the Chiefs at about a field goal favorite right now. Chiefs knocked off the Jags last year, as you know, in the postseason, Cam, in a game I thought the Jaguars should have won.
I had the Jags. Live betting the Jags. As the Jaguar bit my arm. But I'm telling you, this is interesting,
They're doing
Dave.
it this week.
Yes.
I think the Jaguars are
Here's
doing
the
it this
deal,
week.
Kansas City. I got so much hate from Kansas City people. You guys got to understand, I'm a Seahawks fan. You guys used to beat us up with the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye, and all those guys back then. Hey, it's personal. Here's the deal. The Jaguars, not an impressive performance against Indy. But listen, there was fluke plays in that game, too. There was weird calls and all sorts of stuff. It's almost like they wanted Indy to cover in that game. It felt real weird. This is the time. Indianapolis didn't bring it. I think, like a magician, Dave, they kept some tricks in the bag for the Kansas City game. Yep. They didn't show Indy their whole arsenal. Give me the Jaguars. I will take the 3 points. Another cat, another friend.
Yeah, number 0 out there, Calvin Ridley, the gambler, is looking really good.
We said he would. We said he would.
He's looking very good. I do like the Jaguars. That's actually going to be a money line play for myself.
Like your style.
Thank you, sir. Let's move on to the Jets and Cowboys. Right now at Sports Interaction, there isn't a number posted, but a lot of people are forecasting around a touchdown spread in this one, favoring the Cowboys. They blew out the Giants on Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers will not be playing. The Jets defense, can they hang with the Dallas Cowboys and cover 7 points on the road?
Yeah, Dave, I actually saw 7.5 a lot of the places, so it was posted. You're right, 7 or 7.5. With that hook, I'm on your Jets. Jets, Jets. Know what I loved about the way they played? They had them under control, and the Jets just whittled away and hung in the game. Dallas, everybody and their mother's going to be going, wow, what they did against the Giants. Hell, it was impressive. That defense looked like a bunch of hyenas going after loose meat. And I'm going to tell you, though, the Jets defense is good. Dak Prescott, to me, didn't really play great. The defense did all the damage in that game. If you're giving me 7 in the hook, I'm taking your Jets.
And I'm also looking at that game between the two defenses, which are two of the better defenses. I actually think the Jets have the best defense in football, and I think
Dallas is pretty good.
It is, and that's why I'm going to give you the under in this game. Something to look out, especially that first half under. Something to mention. Also, Jet fans like me, Tom Brady, huh? Give him a call, huh? He's not busy. Let's move on with the Chargers after a very disappointing home loss to the Dolphins. They're on the road in Tennessee. Maybe a make goods for the Chargers. They're 3-point favorites. I would not want to be in Los Angeles' shoes to be 0-2 to start the year, considering a lot of people had high hopes. And if Kansas City is going to continue to do what they're doing, this is the time for the Chargers to do something. Can they do it in Tennessee?
Dave, I have a lot of anger, and it mostly comes down to a couple teams. Chargers being one.
Oh, no.
Honest to God, high voltage. What did you do to me last week? No, honestly, Dave. Hey, I'm a defensive coach. Miami carved those turkeys up. But everyone, Dave knows I'm a glutton for punishment. And now this is the spot. Hey, Chargers, if you don't get it done this week, you're off the list. I'm telling you, I can't believe this team. The offense is great. And another thing is, Herbert's a great quarterback. But Dave, in that final drive, always seems to fall short.
Yes.
It's one of everyone, Herbert. You know what? He's great for 3 quarters, but when the game's on the line, things fall apart. But I like them this week. I like the situation. Tennessee's offense, I'm telling you, the Chargers, you're going to bring it this week. You're going to win by 10 points. You're going to cover the number. And if you don't, you're dead to me.
Chargers have to track me. I'm sorry, I'm still laughing. The Chargers have to track meet this team and not let the Titans into it.
Dave, the Chargers burn money. It's like a lightning bolt that just blasts through your stack. But anyway, I'm going back to them. And if they don't cover, you got to warn me, get off this team.
And you know what? I'm excited to hear his opinion on this next one. It's the Seahawks in Detroit. Lions about a 6-point favorite at Sports Interaction, coming off a big Thursday night win on opening night. That was impressive. And you know what? We both called that too, by the way. Cam even on the money line for the Lions to win, and they did it. A reminder, these Seahawks won 5 straight in Detroit dating back to 2015. I know they're not a regular rival or a regular appearance in Detroit, but they do have something cooking when they're in the Motor City.
I'm going to tell you this, Dave. Everybody in the world is going to bet Detroit after what they saw against Kansas City. Do you know the Seattle Seahawks had 12 yards of offense in the second half and broke a record that was standing for time? It was the worst half of football I've ever seen. As a fan, I have a helmet. I wanted to smash it, but it's autographed and it looks nice. So I'm not going to destroy memorabilia. Here's the deal. Geno Smith and the Seahawks weren't ready. Pete Carroll was not ready. They took the Rams lightly, and you know what? McVay had a game plan. Now, after getting embarrassed like that and your defense getting carved up, you're getting that many points in Detroit. Not a popular pick this week, Dave, but give me Sammy the Seahawk. I think they lose a heartbreaker by 3 or 4 and cover the number.
What autographs on that helmet?
Actually, it is the original... Kenny Easley.
Ooh. Kenny
Easley, one of the best defensive backs. See, for all you young guys out there, maybe, Kenny Easley, UCLA, figure it out. Him and Largent, great Seahawks.
Because as soon as you said that, I was going to say Largent or Dave Craig.
I love Dave Craig. He came on a radio show. Great guy. Nice guy.
Hey, let's move on to the 49ers and Rams right now. 49ers, impressive in Pittsburgh. Big time. On the road, too, and nailed them. It was the Christian McCaffrey show in that one, if you missed it. By the way, San Francisco 8-2 against the spread and ATS against the Rams in the last 10 games. They've owned this team. The Rams are coming off a high. I'm looking at a big-time low here for the Los Angeles Rams. Are you?
Dave, you're reading my mail. I wish it was 7. It's 8. I don't care. The thing I love about Brock Purdy, too, is he's very Brady-esque as he slides in the pocket and his head's always up. That's the thing. These other quarterbacks, they panic and throw interceptions. He just knows what to do. Find the receiver. Get out of bounds for 3 yards for the first down. They do everything right. They absolutely manhandled a pretty good Pittsburgh Steelers team on the road. They killed them. Like it was a street fight, and they murdered them. Dave, I'm going to tell you, Rams feeling good about beating Seattle. Seattle checked out of that game. It was one of the worst performances of the Seahawks in years. Give me San Francisco by 14 in this game. Sorry, McVay. If the 49ers are motivated, they're going to kill you.
Yeah, you know what? I like what you're saying there because I'm looking at alternate lines for that one. If it's 7, 8, whatever it is, I'm looking for double digits just for more plus value if I'm betting that game. And I will be betting that game, by the way, at Sports Interaction. Let's go Sunday nighter to wrap up our Sunday ticket. It's the Dolphins, 2.5-point favorites in New England, division rival here. Dolphins, by the way, 7-3 in their last 10 against the Pats. Dolphins have played well against the Pats, even when number 12 was under center in Foxborough.
Dave, I'm having real problems with this game because I actually liked what I saw from New England at the end of that game against Philadelphia. As for Miami, their offense is amazing, but the Chargers still scored a lot of points on them. This is a very difficult game. It won't be like a high unit game for me. I'm going to take the home dog Patriots. I know Miami owns them. This is one of the hardest games of the week, in my opinion. Yep. But I think Mac Jones and that offense can do just enough, and the defense, they'll find a way. Belichick and his crew, they're going to come up with a game plan. I think New England's going to win the game, so I got to take the 2 points. It's going to be a real tight one.
Yeah, a really tight one there. Sunday Night Football at Sports Interaction. Be sure to head to the site for all the latest numbers. This has been Inside the Lines across the Sports Interaction social channels.